So, hello, I'm Matthew from Survive and Learn, sorry. And if you're like me, maybe you're just one of those people who don't own a good knife and just like doing stuff in the backyard that involve maybe wood or fires, which practically means that you would probably be using a knife. Probably, maybe not. So here I just have two random super cheap, I have no idea where we got them from, knives. This is just a random butcher knife, not really sharpened, I didn't really sharpen it. And this one is a knife by Tomodachi, I don't know. They were both pretty cheap. We didn't get them recently, and he's showing like how to chop wood and stuff. So yeah. So here I have two different types of wood. Not sure what types, but this one is this is softer wood, more for like I guess friction fires, I guess. And this is a little harder than that type of wood. Still pretty soft, I guess. So we're gonna try to cut some of the wood.
So we're back and chopping wood. Yeah, you'll see.
So you'll see that when I was chopping the wood, I was chopping it straight and then sideways. Sideways is because then it sort of follows the grain of the wood, which is like, would have the grain. It's like, it's not like just a random stick. Well, yes it is. But the wood has like a lot of small slivers of wood. So then all of them together, which there are like a lot of them, all of them together, they form like a big stick, right? So then if you have a lot of those slivers, you get a stick, and then the stick is stronger when you hit it like against those slivers, like these are the slivers, and then this is the knife, and if you hit it like this straight up against the slivers, so it won't really cut as well. But if you do it diagonally like this, it sort of goes against and it sort of goes with the sliver, so it's better than if you just keep on chopping straight up and down like this. So yes, I know that did take a long time, longer than it should have taken with a better knife, I guess, or a better sharpened knife. But you know, it works, right? You know, you also notice that I turned the wood around a little bit, like when I was chopping. And that's because then, like, I could get different angles, because if you just keep on chopping in one place all the time, it's not as effective. Yeah. Now we got this piece of wood cut. There's something called batoning, which I'd like to show you. So batoning is more like if you have a big sturdy knife that won't really break on you. Like this knife, I don't think this knife will break on me. I hope not. But it's just a big piece of steel, so I hope it won't break. And it's when you have like a piece of wood. Let's say it was raining and this piece of wood got wet. Well, the only part of this piece of wood that would be dry would be the inside, right? So batoning is to get to the wood that is dry on the inside. So what you do is you put the knife in the middle of the wood, or you could cut, for like this small sized piece of wood, you just put it in the middle, and then you take a big stick, and then you just start whacking the knife inside, sort of like this. You'll notice that the knife starts pushing itself into the wood, and then you could just keep on continuing whacking it like this. Well, that wasn't really good. This knife isn't very sharp. And then you see that you'll cut like the wood off, and then you'll get to the inside of the wood, which is pretty awesome. And once you're on the inside is almost always dry, so yeah. And then you'll see that you get like small pieces of wood cut off like this. These are great. These are better than just normal twigs because they have more surface area with like all the ankles and stuff. And it's drier on the inside, right? So yeah. So let's just do a little more batoning, huh? Cool. So that's how you do a little bit of batoning. Here's for the batoning part. I hope this goes well. I hope. out of a small stick of wood around that big, this one, I managed to get some firewood in a pile this big. And you can roast a marshmallow or two with that fire that you might make with that one. So yeah, batoning, you need the right knife for it. These knives which I have here are not really the right knives. First of all, for the knife I used, it is not sharp and it doesn't have any angle. Batoning works because you split along the grain, which is the small stuff of the wood. The small strips of wood, right? Which are all put together. And I'll show you. This is the grain, if you could see. This is the grain of the wood, up to down. So if you're using a knife from up to down, you will split along the grain. Chopping is against the grain. That's why diagonal helps sometimes. Then it sort of follows the grain. But then you usually need a sharper knife to get along with the grain. It has to be a strong knife or else it won't resist the beating. And usually it's better to have an angle, because then the angle can split the wood better. That's why axes work. A lot of leverage with it too. Well, that's batoning and chopping some wood. I hope you like it. Bye!